Hi everybody and welcome back to another late Clues by Sam. It is a medium one as normally we have in the middle of the week. So as expected, if you don't know what Clues by Sam is, it is a daily puzzle game where there are 20 people. Each of them must either be a criminal or an innocent, and you gotta figure that out using the clues that they themselves might give you. Maybe they help you figure somebody else out and not them, but if you want to play the game, there is a link in the description to take you to it. And if you want to follow along with me, then I'm going to start mine right now and explain my logic as I go. So let's start. We start with Noah telling us that exactly one innocent in row 3 is on the edges, and Noah himself is in row 3 and he's on the edge and he's an innocent. So he is that person, which means that the other person in the same situation is not. Now we don't need his clue anymore. Clay says that Stella is one of 4 criminals in column C. So Stella is here and she's a criminal. Column C has 5 people, which means that if 4 of them are criminals, only one of them is an innocent. And now Stella says that an odd number of innocents in column C are Gabe's neighbors. So Gabe is here and he has 3 people neighboring him in column C. If an odd number of them are innocents, and we know there's only one innocent in column C, that means that that single innocent is neighboring Gabe, and the 2 other people that neighbor him are criminals. But where's the 4th criminal in column C? It has to be Will. Will now says that Erwin is one of Laura's 7 criminal neighbors. So Erwin is up here, he's a criminal, and Laura has 8 neighbors total, only one of them is an innocent. And it could be Peter or Ryan. I was gonna say that she shares 2 people with Gabe and that the innocent is here, but it's not true. It could be that Carl is an innocent and then Laura and Gabe share 2 criminals, and then there's one innocent here in row 4. Erwin says there's only one innocent above Tina, so where's Tina? Noah is a single innocent above Tina, which means that everybody else is a criminal. Don't need Erwin's clue anymore. Have we read? Yeah, we did. Okay. Diane says that exactly 2 of the 3 criminals on the edges are Tina's neighbors. 3 innocents on the edges. Did I read that the opposite word? That is so bizarre. Okay, so 2 of the 3 innocents on the edges are Tina's neighbors, and one of them is Noah. Tina has only one more person neighboring her on the edge who is not Will and could be an innocent, so that person has to be an innocent. And now we have only one more innocent on the edge. But Sia now says that each column has at least 3 criminals. And we are talking about columns. Column D needs 1 more criminal and has only 1 more person, Tina, so she has to be the 3rd and last criminal. Tina says there's an odd number of innocents in row 1. We're talking about innocents, and everybody in row 1 is on the edge. So that means that only one of those people could be an innocent, right? Although we do have 3 people, and if all of them were to be innocents, it would be an odd number. If all of them were to be innocents, we would have way more innocents on the edges than we should, according to... Who's talking about innocents on the edges? Diane. So I shouldn't have dismissed her clue, but now we know that everybody here is not an innocent because the last innocent is in row 1. So all criminals here. And Uma now says that... I guess I'm gonna leave Tina's clue here as well. Uma now says that column A has more criminals than any other column. We don't know about any columns with 4 criminals yet, but Laura still needs 1 innocent, right? Neighboring her. We know that Gabe's gonna have 1 innocent here. We know that column C has 4 criminals. Somebody said that some time ago. 4 criminals in column C. So we know the total for column C, which means that column A has to have more than that. So everybody in column A is a criminal. Nice. So now we know that Bonnie and Carl are opposites. And It might be that Carl is innocent for Gabe in column C, but it might not be. So let's leave that there. Anna says that there are more criminals in row 2 than row 5. Row 2 and row 5. Row 5 has 3 criminals, so everybody in row 2 has to be a criminal. And now we know that Hank and Carl are opposites. Oops, having trouble with the text today, apparently. Hank now says there's an odd number of innocents neighboring Stella. Where's Stella? Stella has 2 innocents so far. She's gonna have a third one that she shares with Laura for sure. So that's 3. We know that Martin and Ryan are opposites because of Laura. So that's the odd number for Stella, which means that Laura is a criminal. And the clue is talking about innocence, double check. We don't need Hank's clue anymore. Now Laura says there's an equal number of criminals in rows 3 and 5. So we know that row 5 has 3 criminals, which means that row 3 has to have 3 criminals as well. That's Martin. And that makes Ryan an innocent and Carl an innocent. And Carl being an innocent makes Bonnie a criminal. Okay, so that was complicated, but I love it. 515, beautiful number. And only 44% had a perfect solve. That's very interesting. Like I said, it is late today, so the more into the day you do the puzzle, or the later you do the puzzle in the day, the more accurate the stats are, because then there's more people who have done the puzzle, so the averages are composed of more people, which is very interesting. But because a medium having less than half the people that solved it have a perfect solve, I would be interested in knowing why people made mistakes. Because when we compare the time, it could be that we have way different times from people or from person to person, but I guess that's a question I leave for the community. Would you rather have a smaller or a shorter time in your solve with more mistakes than a longer time with a perfect solve? Because I would have a perfect solve in an hour way more than I would prefer a, I don't know, 3-minute solve with 3 mistakes. Even if it were few mistakes. Did that make sense? I don't want to make mistakes. I want to be sure. I want to make sure that I'm understanding everything and that I'm considering all the possibilities. And the improvement on time comes with practice. Because with time, you're going to be more sure of your scenarios you're starting to simulate in your head, not only on the game. But yeah. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry, I always talk a lot after the puzzle, but I want to give my impression. You know, that's the fun of it. I'll see you tomorrow for more Clues by Sam. Bye bye.